Scientists are baffled after finding bizarre blobs deep inside the Earth. Geologists stunned after detecting two mysterious blobs deep inside the surface of the Earth. Researchers uncovered two new details about the two mysterious blob-like structures. They're present roughly on opposite sides of our planet, officially known as large low shear velocity provinces, LLSVPs. These blobs are massive, each the size of a continent, and they're 100 times taller than Mount Everest. Until now, scientists have known very little about the blobs, about why they exist and why they have odd shapes of varying heights. And now researchers have analyzed the structures. They were able to determine the maximum heights that the blobs each, along with how the volume and density of the blobs, as well as the viscosity in the surrounding mantle is, and may affect their height, influence their heights. Arizona State University scientists Qian Yuan and Ming Li of the School of Earth and Space Exploration used geodynamic modeling and analysis to learn more about both of these blobs. The result of their seismic analysis led to a surprising discovery that the blob under the African continent is about 621 miles, that's about 1,000 kilometers, higher than the blob under the Pacific Ocean. And according to Mr. Wang and Mr. Li, the best explanation for the vast height difference between the two is that the blob under the African continent is less dense and therefore less stable than the one under the Pacific Ocean. Let's remember that under the African continent we have the Great Rift Valley, and we've had a number of 4.55 plus earthquakes there from South Africa all the way up to Egypt. Okay, these past 2 weeks I made videos on that, and it seems that the blob is right under there. And of course, under the Pacific Ocean, that's the Pacific Ring of Fire, and we have the Hawaii mantle plume there. We've also had the underground Toba volcano eruption a couple of weeks ago. Now, Mr. Wan, the lead author, said, our calculations found that the initial volume of the blobs does not affect their height. The height of the blobs is mostly controlled by how dense they are and the viscosity of the surrounding mantle. To conduct their research, the two scientists designed and ran hundreds of mantle convection model simulations, and they exhaustively tested the effects of key factors that may affect the height of the blobs, including the volume of the blobs and the contrast of density and viscosity of the blobs compared with their surroundings. They found that to explain the large differences of height between the two blobs, the one under Africa, the African continent, must be of lower density than that of the blob under the Pacific Ocean. This indicates that the two may have different compositions and evolution. The co-author is Mr. Li, and he added the African LLVP may have been rising in recent geological time. This may explain the elevating surface topography and intense volcanism in eastern Africa. Of course, that's where the Great Rift Valley is, and that's where we have a lot of volcanoes. And the Rift Valley, of course, there's magma all along there, going all the way towards Sinai, and that also goes into the fault of the Transjordanian Fault going up through Israel. Now, these findings may fundamentally change the way scientists think about the deep mantle processes and how they can affect the surface of our Earth. The unstable nature of the blob under the African continent, for example, may relate to continental changes in topography, gravity, surface volcanism, and plate motion, obviously. Mr. Wan said, our combination of the analysis of seismic results and the geodynamic modeling provides new insight on the nature of the Earth's largest structures in the deep interior and their interaction with the surrounding mantle. This work has far-reaching implications for scientists trying to understand the present-day status and the evolution of the deep mantle structure and the nature of mantle convection. And this is on Express UK, latest on the geology of these blobs by Anthony Ashkenaz. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support. and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.